What up, Dokkanners? The Tanabata celebration is basically over. We have now finished our last bit of content that we got last night, and we were able to drop everything in one day. And I gotta say, it was pretty disappointing in terms of the challenge level because it was pretty straightforward. The Red Zone Read DLC might have been the easiest one in quite some time. And the reason why I can confidently say that is I was able to do that with no new units pretty quickly. Usually, I feel like the sign of a relatively challenging event, and when I say relatively challenging, I mean like for the general population of players, is if a no new units run leads me to struggle. But I just didn't. I was able to get stage 1 done in one try. The second one I think took me 2 tries, and then the last one I think also took me 1 try. So it was all pretty quick. Dokkan Frontier, whether that's a challenge or not, is not really, I don't think, is an effective measuring stick for regular challenge content, especially since Dokkan Frontier is here to stay. It's always going to be there. So it's always something you can do in the future. So I don't really count that. Some people would argue that that one was pretty tough as well. But considering there was a pretty straightforward solution to it that we used in that video where we basically juggled GT heroes as the primary squad plus guest, that also kind of worked out. So it was not the, it fell flat. It fell flat. That was not a good finish to Tanabata. And now the unfortunate reality is that we have to wait for a few days before anything else drops afterwards. So looking at the campaign details, this is when the next celebration is going to be starting. July 28th, 2026, 8 a.m. my time is when the stone sales will be coming to an end. So that means July 28th my time, that night will be when the banner drops. So here is where we are right now as of me posting this video. For me, for you guys, it might be the 24th. For me, I always frame things from my perspective because Dokkan likes to, you know, do things in terms of PST. So in terms of my perspective, it is the 23rd. This is where the banner is going to be dropping. So we've got a good chunk of days here with nothing going on. It's going to be rough. And I wasn't able to get to anything today because I was very busy with work. I just got back, wanted to get a video out there. I was hoping I might still be able to stream something tonight, either Ocarina of Time or Halo, probably Halo. But anyway, 5 days. So the golden rule is whenever it comes to a unit release, that would be day 0. So let's work our way backwards. If the 28th is the new banner, that means the day before is the day to download right here. Before that would be the animations and the character kit and all that on the 26th. And if we are to get a hint, the hint would be the day before that. So considering we are on the 23rd, at the earliest, if we're lucky, we could start to see something in terms of a hint leading towards the next Dokkan Festival around here. Although, do they do hints on the weekends? Maybe here? No, I don't know. So yeah, it's going to be somewhere in the weekend that we might get something. So it's going to be a couple of days, and that's pretty much it. So the rest of this video is going to be going over some ideas, some theories as to what this next celebration is going to be. What we do know is that this is going to be a monthly Dokkan Festival. And I say that strictly in the sense that it is a monthly Dokkan Festival. There's nothing special behind it in terms of like the name, but because of the metal cooler incident, that might not even matter. So people will be eagerly waiting to see what this unit is going to be like, what this unit is going to do. As far as who it should be, we're not going to get to the who I want it to be just yet. Who it should be, I think if we look back over the year of 2026, it should be something that strengthens one of the categories that was upgraded during year 11. So if it's something that helps Grade A Power, Realm of Gods, Power of Wishes, Majin Buu Saga, Saiyan Saga, I said Realm of Gods, right? Yeah, a lot of Realm of Gods there. Or Terrifying Conquerors or Movie Boss, that'll do. It's got to be one of those, because I think so far what they've done a very good job of is reinforcing the new categories that they've been building up in the part 1. We've had now, what, 3 different instances of that? We had a part 1, great start. Part 2, even better follow-up. Part 1, great start. Part 2, didn't we get some good ECAs here? Yeah, we had like Whis and Biwis, so even better follow-up. Great part 1, great part 2. But this helps with this. This, I would say, probably helps with this. Like there's some sort of a tie-in back to something earlier this year. So I want whatever this is, while it may be a throwaway in name only, it should still be something that can be useful to one of the categories that have been upgraded this year. So like, for example, if it's Saiyan Saga, that would retroactively make this celebration more worth it had you invested in it. And that's kind of the point. Dokkan should be doing this, where every celebration is done with intent, with purpose, and it should come back soon after in terms of value. It shouldn't just be something that is introduced and then disregarded, and it's just like, why did this ever happen? Like, I feel like ultimately this might be one of those that falls victim to it, but that's understandable because this was just sort of an extra celebration that they shoehorned in. But besides that, everything else that we've had should be relevant soon after its release to justify people investing in it. And I'm not trying to suggest that everyone should be summoning on every single banner, but in terms of Dokkan Festival banners, there shouldn't be a situation where someone is like, oh, that's an easy skip because nobody cares. That should never be a thing, right? That's what's going to make the game more interesting. If there are multiple categories that are top tier, if there are multiple categories that are on the rise, and it's just a matter of choosing which one do you want to kind of side with, which one do you want to invest in as they rise to the top, right? So if this next Dokkan Festival celebration is Saiyan Saga, I think that would be good. If this next Dokkan Festival celebration is Movie Heroes, that would be good. If this next Dokkan Festival celebration is Terrifying Conquerors, I think that's probably the ideal one that most people would want, or Realm of Gods or something like that. I feel like Realm of Gods wise, we've got a good amount that we've been given so far. So I wouldn't be, you know, too keen on getting another one because we've had major Realm of God upgrades already, right? A super easy A Dokkan Fest, this dude, you know, this guy, these two, plus the easy A's and super easy A's. So I think we're good on that front. That's probably the one that I would say I want the least, which is weird because I do love Realm of Gods, but probably the least one. I'm gonna say either Terrifying Conquerors or Saiyan Saga, ideally. Or you know what? Do we want to say Majin Buu Saga? We've sort of cooled down on Majin Buu Saga. Well, in terms of the villains, we've covered all the villains except for maybe like Super Buu. Maybe we go back and we bring in some more Super Buu action here. Super Buu would also work. Wait, which Buu is in uncontrollable power? There are some Boos that fit uncontrollable power, which would also be pretty nice. Hold on, you know what? Wait. Yeah, it was all the different Boos. It was Fat Buu, it was Buuhan, it was Super Buu, it was Kid Buu. All the Boos are uncontrollable power. And the reason why that matters is because that also falls in line with Cell Max, who just came out. So there is some connective tissue there. So yeah, my choice is going to be either Majin Buu in some form or fashion, or Namek Saga. Majin Buu Saga or Namek Saga, or sorry, Saiyan Saga will be my two choices in terms of what I think it will be. What I want it to be, you all know, it's Zarbon. I want it to be Zarbon because I want obscure Dokkan Festival characters to get their moment, even if it's during these intermediary celebrations that typically people write off. That's fine. You want to write him off? That's fine. Let him exist in the freaking game. We got a Dokkan Festival Videl. We have a Dokkan Festival Mercenary Tao. These characters deserve their moments. This is a good time to do it. Most people won't summon. Even if the character is good or decent, most people are not going to summon considering how close it is. So why not? Just give it. If it's a precursor to the Global Dokkan Celebration, that would also work. I don't know if that's going to happen. Let's go back and check the Sacred Timeline. Have we ever had a situation where the Trap celebration before this September major celebration, was there any correlation? Let's go back and check. So we are looking at this. Let's see, how do I change the order? I like it the other way. Can I make it in descending order? Date, release, multiple. All right, I don't think I can. So last year in September, it was New Tanabata. So the Trap celebration before that, which was post GDC, was Gohan, Goten, Trunks. That had nothing to do with the Tanabata whatsoever, except reversible exchange, I suppose, but nothing. And it also had nothing to do with its preceding celebration, which was the GDC. So now let's go back to 2024. 2024, we did have the worldwide celebration happening in the slot that it's going to be the GDC this year. So this will actually be a more accurate representation. So that started in September, right? So what was the preceding Dokkan Festival in between? It wasn't Pepe Gals, it was Roshi. Oh, wait, this is JP. JP's celebration. So August was, yeah. Was it really Roshi? Oh, wow. Okay, it was Roshi. The end of July was the Roshi celebration. That clearly had nothing to do with Broly. or Broly or Gohan or Goku. Okay, so that example fits. It does not correlate whatsoever. Let's go back to 2023. We're using the JP timeline because that's more accurate. So what was the final celebration before GDC, before Worldwide? Worldwide was Future Saga. Okay, the Dokkan Festival prior, not the Peppy Gals, but the Dokkan Festival prior was, there's a little bit of correlation there because this is Z Future and that is Super Future. Okay, we'll put that in the yes department. So far it's 1-1. No, it's 1-2. The last two have had nothing to do. Okay, if we go back to 2022, all the way back in 2022, I really hope this isn't just too disorienting. August. Okay, so end of July. Dokkan Festival was Pan. The interesting thing about this year is we were doing the superhero integration stuff, so this made the schedule pretty chaotic. But with Pan GT being that one, yeah, it had nothing to do with Cooler 2022. Okay, so that's 1-3. Okay. Honestly, I don't think that's enough to justify a pattern in either way, just because Dokkan loves to troll. So I don't know if this is actually going anywhere, but still, I want to be thorough. Okay, so July Dokkan Festival was Super Vegeta in 2021, and then the worldwide that year was Namek Saga. They have nothing to do with one another at all. So 1-4. So for the most part, there is no correlation between the preceding Trap celebration and the new major celebration. So if it's Zarbon, either that's an exception and it's, you know, we're kind of we are in fact heading in that new direction, or GDC isn't Namek Saga. But I feel like if there's one prediction most people are most likely leaning into, it's that GDC is going to be Namek Saga included. Maybe not necessarily Namek Saga centric, but Namek Saga included. So I think it's a safer bet to bet against Zarbon. I think the dream once again stays dead for another however many months. There will be no Zarbon here, as much as I want it to be that. But if it is going to be Namek Saga, then actually, dude, I think I like Saiyan Saga even more. It's just that, like, what else can you do for Saiyan Saga? It would have to be a hero for Saiyan Saga, but that also works. Yeah, I guess. Dokkan Festival Krillin. We haven't, I mean, look, I want underrepresented characters, and believe it or not, Krillin is underrepresented. Bro doesn't have a single Dokkan Festival release. So why not? Let's do it. If it's not going to be Zarbon, I will allow it to be Dokkan Festival Krillin. That is my final prediction that I will probably once again make a video for in a couple of days, because what else is there to make videos on? All right, there you go. Feel free to come back to this video and roast me if I'm wrong, but I won't be. I'm never wrong. Guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to like down below. Let me know in the comments your thoughts on what is going to be coming up next. Do you think that there's going to be any sort of correlation between this Trap Dokkan Festival celebration and GDC? Do you even buy into looking at the past as a pattern anymore with what they've been doing lately? Do you think that this would change things? Since this year, 2026, has been very memorable in terms of villain releases, would it be better to give us another villain before going into the GDC celebration? Let me know your thoughts overall, your predictions, anything else that I missed in the comments down below. Also, be sure to subscribe for more no content of the future and click the notification bell so that you, the YouTube, know you want to see more of my stuff doing. Thanks so much for watching. Stay tuned and always remember to Dokkan responsibly.